Or watch the web links, the video links. And you want to pass them along to your friends. Like you say to yourself, hey, that was a fun little thing. I'd like to share that with a friend of mine. I wonder how I would do that. You can go to the Facebook page of Doug Pagitt Radio and get all these little links. You can also find them on the website, DougPagitRadio.com. You can find the videos right there.
It's
you can
free?
share them with your friends. It's all free. All this stuff is free. It's a big free world. It's like the love of God. It's just free as the love of God. You don't have to do anything at all except have a very expensive computer interface. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
You don't need much.
Right.
You just need that. We have a little segment that we call Cripes. Come on, you got to be kidding me. It's the most religious part of our show. There's people who have said to me, hey, I thought your show was more about religion than it is. I'm like, could it be any more about religion than the Cripes? Come on, you got to be kidding me, and the right on.
Right.
The public lament, the public cry out. It's the religious impulse to say to one another and to the rest of the cosmos, there are things in this world that are not the way they're supposed to be. We cry, we bemoan those things.
We're not complaining.
No, we are joining together with this heart cry of all of creation that the world needs to be remade. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
We just happen to do it in some fun, lighthearted ways to remind us that there are some things that aren't the way they're supposed to be.
They're not.
And we have choices to make in this world. We can decide, are we going to be people that just say Cripes and come on, you got to be kidding me, and leave it there? No. We are called and compelled forward to be people who make the world right. We are to join in the reconciliation of the world. We are to join into the making good and making right of all that is. And anyone who does that does the work of the Lord.
And if you just happen to arrest somebody in the process of doing that, you're legally able to do that.
You are held without legal punitive action by the state of Minnesota. No, I don't know what Lord God thinks of that, but I know what the state legislature said about it, and what an attorney can say about it. But we come up with the Cripes, and it come on, and you got to be kidding me for each one of these. And sometimes they're hard to come by, and sometimes they're really quite easy. This week I had a little Cripes come out. I'm going to this body work guy, and not an ink body worker, but a massager, a therapist, a physical therapist guy. And I got this hip pain, little hip issue going on, my right hip. Yeah, constantly, and the running's kind of brought it out, and then a little basketball.
Like a little sciatica?
Maybe a little sciatica, maybe a little hip flexor. I got stuff.
Like a little arthritic hip?
And a lot of people are like, hey, you're just getting older. And I don't buy that for a minute. Because if it was true I was getting older, then why is my body aging at different rates? Why is my hip so much, more sore than my hand? Like, there's something going on. I'm not just passing it off to age. So he's doing a little work on me, and then he realizes, I think your right leg is longer than your left leg. And I said, well, that very well could be true. I've always thought that because in second grade I fell out of a tree and broke my right femur and was in a body cast for 3 months. And I think that all the calcium that went into that leg to heal it caused my leg to grow longer. I don't know if that's true or not, but I had like a Pinocchio-like imagination around my leg.
Sure.
Right, that it's just growing longer. And he said, he measured it and said, I think your right leg is 1/2 inch longer than your other leg, which is a big deal. So I noticed that's why I always kind of stand a little left-leaning. And I don't just mean politically. I'm always standing a little left-leaning. I can tell because my left arm, if I have a long-sleeve shirt on, like under a sport coat or something, or a jacket, my left sleeve is always sticking out a little further because I'm leaning to the left.
Well, that's ridiculous.
I'm left-leaning. I walk pigeon-toed with my right foot because I'm trying to. So he brings us up and says, maybe your hip pain would go away if we started talking about some kind of increase of the sole on your shoe or an orthotic or something. Well, then now I can't think about anything else. Every step I take, I feel like I'm walking with this enormous. I feel like I'm walking on a curb.
Yeah, right.
My left foot's down in a gutter, and it's just totally dominant. And sometimes, so the Cripes goes out. Sometimes there's things about yourself you don't want to know.
No.
But I mean, he has the obligation to tell me. But I just say, Cripes, I don't want to know what's wrong with me because once I know what's wrong with me, that's all I'm going to look at.
Well, I think the Cripes should go to you for trying to fix that after
I did fix it. I put an insole on my left foot and then went running.
And how'd that work out for you?
Hurt my hip. I don't know why every time when I'm victimized, you spin it around and you make it.
I don't know.
You're like Dr. Phil over here. Yeah, you're just always making it. So I just had this real sense that you know what? Sometimes you just don't want to know. I know on the big moral, ethical, biomedical sense, the question is, what do we want to know about our genes? What do we want to know about our genetic makeup? What do we want to know about what's down the road for us, no matter what we do about it? The same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do I want to know I have one leg longer than the other? Because then I'm going to start obsessing on it. I'm going to get like a border collie, and it's just going to be nothing. I'm going to look at nothing. Squirrel. Left leg short, walking with a limp. Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm 45 years old. Why did I need that information?
I don't know. I don't know when you try to fix it.
Yeah, why do I try to fix it? So the Cripes goes out to the fact that sometimes you just don't want to know these things. The Come On goes out to the fact that people like you and I have these totally boring names, and other people don't. Here's a non-boring name. Met a woman at the Jamba Juice who was working behind the counter. I said, that is a fantastically, beautifully written name. How do you say that? Antone. Antone. Beautiful. And I said, well, that's great. How'd you get that? She said, I don't know. My middle name is Elizabeth, and my last name, Lady Love.
Oh, my word.
Antone Elizabeth Lady Love.
That's poetry.
That's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm like, who gets a name like that? I get to be called Doug. You get to be called John. We're like glottal sounds. We're like the sounds that you make when you didn't eat lunch. We're stomach grumbles. And this woman gets to go out with Antone, but she did say it's a bit of a downfall because she tries to apply for jobs.
Like, well, this is a Disney character.
All right, your real. I don't want your stage name here, Lady Love.
Yeah.
She said, no, it's my real name, Antone Elizabeth Lady Love. I'm like, oh, it's just beautiful. Doug.
Hey, Brian, what's your middle name?
Matthew.
Boring.
That's nice. Yeah, Brian, but at least it spells with a Y. It's got a little character to it.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some of us who just have to say, oh, come on, how do I get stuck with a sound? And she gets poetry.
Yeah.
It's poetry. And we don't pick our own name. If you pick your own name and you name yourself, if I name myself like Antone Lady Love, that's not going over. Someone's gonna be like, did you name what are you doing naming yourself? You can't change your name.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And then you got to be kidding me. Goes out to Best Buy. I bought a camera. Video camera, because one that I borrowed from my sister turned up missing, as they say. And I think I know who stole it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chase them down. I'm going to kick their door in,
That's right.
and I'm going to find that camera in their house.
John Bradley.
Yeah. I'm going to chase them down the street yelling, citizens arrest. Well, so I had this missing camera, so I had to go buy her a new one. So I go to buy this new video camera for her with a card. It's like a tape. We don't have tapes anymore, right?
No.
You record them on these little digital cards. So I go to buy this little digital card, $39 for a 4 gig on sale. Great. Put it in the camera, drop the camera off to my sister. Turns out the card's bad. Doesn't work. Now I have to drive back to Best Buy to tell them the card doesn't work.
Right.
And they tell me, oh, we're out of that card. We don't have that one anymore. So you can't have a 4 gig card for $39. Instead, I said, well, how about this other 4 gig card? They said, well, that one's $79. And I said, I know, but you're out of this other one. They said, well, we could give you that one for that $79 card if no other Best Buys have it for $39, the $39 one. I'm like, what? So they find out that in Richfield they have one. They said, well, you can drive over there and exchange it. And I said, so I buy a card from you at the price you offer it. I didn't strike a deal. We weren't bartering.
No.
We strike this deal because you offered it. Then I buy the card. Then I drive all the way home. Now I have to drive all the way back. And then you tell me, well, if you actually want that same thing that we sold you but now doesn't work, you have to drive to another place to get it. And then I just thought, you got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. So there's things in this world that make you say cripes, like when you find out there's something wrong with you and now you can't do anything but think about it. There's things that make you say, come on, when you realize that you don't have the poetry in your namesake that other people do.
No, you don't.
Things that make you say, oh, you got to be kidding me. When just to make things normal, you've got to go through a whole bunch of extra work. There are some things in this world that make you cry out like that, and there are some things in this world that make you say, right on. So stick around for hour 2. We'll bring you to that, as well as McKay Coppins. Talk Veggie Radio.
I got started right this morning.